You know, as a multi-cloud architect, I've spent my career designing these massive, resilient systems. But I gotta be honest, I've realized that the biggest point of failure, it's usually not in our code or our infrastructure. It's in the experience of the people writing that code. So today, we're going to talk about architecting for the most important part of any system, the developers themselves.
Sound familiar? Yeah, I bet it does. This isn't just some random Slack message. This is the sound of friction. It's the daily reality for these brilliant developers we hire to solve complex problems, but instead, they're spending their days just fighting the very tools that are supposed to help them. This is a hidden tax on innovation, and we absolutely have to eliminate it.
And let's be really clear here. This is not just a case of the Mondays. No, this is a systemic problem. This constant friction. I'm talking wrestling with flaky test environments, trying to decipher undocumented APIs, navigating these crazy deployment processes. It just grinds creativity to a halt. It turns what should be a simple task into this multi-hour ordeal. It's just a slow, steady drain on your team's potential. Okay, so let's pull back for a second from just one developer's frustrating afternoon and look at the real cost here. Because these small, daily hurdles, they don't just stay small. They compound. They create these massive, system-level problems that can hamstring an entire organization.
So, what's the choice we're really making every day? On one side, you have developers just bogged down, fighting with internal tools and broken processes. That's work that adds zero value for your customers. And on the other side, you have them building the very features that actually drive the business forward. Every single minute your team spends on the left is a minute stolen from the right.
45%. Just think about that for a second. Studies are showing that nearly half of a developer's time can be completely eaten up by technical debt and this internal friction. That's almost half your engineering budget spent on, well, nothing. Imagine if you could reclaim even a fraction of that time. What could your teams build?
And this goes way beyond just lost hours. A poor developer experience, what we call DX, has a direct and pretty painful impact. It slows your product velocity down to a crawl. It actually harms your system's reliability because frustrated developers are forced to build these brittle workarounds. And of course, it absolutely crushes team morale.
So this brings us to the core idea, the whole point of this explainer. It's time we start reframing developer experience. It is not a feature. It is not some nice to have. It is a fundamental, non-negotiable pillar of any modern system architecture. It's the foundation that everything else, your speed, your reliability, your innovation, it's all built on top of it.
So let's be crystal clear on what we mean by DX. It's all about the ease, the efficiency, and the effectiveness of getting software from a developer's brain into production. I mean, think about it. We spend countless hours architecting for scalability and security and performance. We have to start applying that same rigorous design thinking to the experience of the people who build and maintain these systems.
Which, it leads to the obvious question we all need to ask ourselves, right? If we know for a fact that a poor developer experience leads to slower, less reliable systems, why is it so often ignored? Why do we treat the usability of our internal platforms as this total afterthought, if we even treat it as a thought at all?
Well, the good news is there's a clear path forward, and the solution really starts with this powerful shift in mindset. You have to treat your internal platform like a product, and you have to treat your developers as your most important customers. I mean, if they aren't buying what you're building, if they're constantly creating workarounds instead, then your product is failing. Simple as that.
So what does a great internal product look like? Well, it's built on these 4 pillars. It all starts with clear, discoverable documentation and stable, well-defined APIs. That's the bedrock. That's how you build trust. From there, you build these empowering self-service workflows so developers can move fast. And you provide sensible, safe defaults to make the right way the easy way.
And this slide right here, this perfectly captures the goal. The old way is a total nightmare of support tickets and just waiting. But the DX way empowers developers with self-service. By giving them templates and these sensible, safe defaults, you don't just make them happier, you actually make the entire system more consistent and more reliable by design. You're making the easy path the correct path.
All right, let's bring this all together. Adopting developer experience is a core design principle. This isn't about expensive perks or fancy tools. Not at all. It's a strategic investment with a crystal clear return. More reliable systems, faster product delivery, and an engineering team that's engaged, empowered, and actually ready to innovate.
So I'm going to leave you with one final question to take back to your teams. I want you to look at your own systems and just ask honestly,
Is your architecture a springboard that propels your developers forward, or is it a swamp they have to fight their way through every single day? Because the answer to that question is going to define the future of your product.